Hello, hello. Hi. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Hello, James. Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, it's 6 on the dot. Hello, Omar. You're still muted. Well, welcome to the Veteran Series Forum. Is this possibly your note taker? I don't know if I should let it in the room, but let me know. Good evening, Stan.
Sorry, I had to find the unmute button. How are you?
No worries. Great. How are you doing this evening?
Good, good. Thank you for inviting.
Definitely. So, welcome to the Veteran Series Forum, where veterans are here to meet veterans, and we're here to introduce veterans to valued resources.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm on.
Yeah, here is my co-host, Omar Becerra, Army Sergeant First Class, combat veteran, 21 years of service, and transitioning into civilian life as a business professional. I'd like to grow up and be a professional.
Well, thanks for all your service.
Well, we'll open now. I'd love to do introductions with you guys. We usually stick to 30 seconds since we have a little bit of time. Go ahead and go over. Let us know who you are, branch you served in, or affiliation organization you're with, and then we'll pop to the next person. James, would you like to go first?
Absolutely. I'm James Brower, the veteran's friend. Served in the Army 1970, 1973 during Vietnam, not in Vietnam. And I am the founder of veteranbargains.com, a free resource for vets, military, and first responders.
It's the huge directory, correct?
Got about 1,100 companies on there doing discounts, about 4 dozen nonprofits that help, and all kinds of other useful information.
Wonderful. Well, it's
Oh,
awesome to have
amazing.
you. Stan, please.
My name's Stan Russell, and I'm actually with D3M Global, and we have a product that we're getting into the Veterans Administration right now for wound care to heal hard to heal wounds.
That's wonderful. We're excited for all the products that you guys are getting into the VA. It's really exciting.
We'll definitely want to, help in any way that we can. And I think this product will definitely help in many ways. So thank you.
Thank you, Stan. Now, Omar, give us your introduction.
Hi, good afternoon, all. So my name is Omar Becerra. Served 21 years in the Army, actually still in. Now I'm in the reserve side and hanging out my boots in December. So I'm going to be 22 years of service and that's it. I'm done. They've been trying to convince me. They've been hanging out my first sergeant rank for the past 3 years. And I said, no, I'm done. So I'm actually retiring this year. Transition, civilian side. Right now, bumping to financial services a little bit by accident, but it became a passion being in the industry. Uh, just some food for thought. How often do we see veterans leaving some generational wealth for their families? Not at all, right? So that's actually what had driving me into it, because they don't really teach us anything when it comes to finances. Not in school, not in college, not in the military, not in jobs, right? They don't teach us to have a foundation. So that's one thing that I'm trying to catch, especially the young guys before they get hurt and they get all the disabilities and get all this stuff so they can get the best ratings. But anybody through, especially in the vet side, because we just don't have that help, we don't have that assistance, especially on the private sector side. And so many things are so affordable, and we just don't know. We just don't know what we don't know, right? So trying to
Right.
connect, trying to educate, and try to change families.
Love it. I'm Christine Mantilla with the Veteran Series Forum. This forum was started with my co-host, my late co-host, Awuda Keel. And we started this just to have veterans and veterans connect, and veterans and resources. And so we're so happy with how this has grown over time and made so many connections. And thank you so much, all of you, for joining. It's really an honor to have you on here. This is also previously hosted by South Coast College, so we thank them too. And yeah, we'll just open up. Omar, go ahead and lead us in the conversation, and open the forum when you're ready.
All right, cool. So didn't mention that the company I'm actually part of is called PHP Agency. So we are a brokerage. PHP actually stands for People Helping People. So literally that's what we try to do. That's kind of what I mentioned in the beginning. Trying to educate families, right? Not only veterans, we educate everybody. But my drive, my passion directly, number one passion is the veteran side, just because I'm one of them, right? So I'm trying to help our people first. You gotta take care of your house before you can help anybody else out, right? And I put the oxygen mask first. So help other families, help other vets, that's my brothers and sisters in arms. So definitely trying to take care of them and educate them. Like I mentioned, one thing is that we don't really have a good financial education. We don't have a good foundation. So when a lot of individuals get into medical issues or anything like that, they get to struggle a lot. Even when we have like Service Connection, you get a free healthcare through the VA. Still, number one reason families go bankrupt in the United States is medical bills. 68% of all families go bankrupt due to medical bills. So what I try to do is with different type of products, especially on the life side, life insurance, annuities, retirement planning, um, living benefits. We're trying to educate families so they can have a good foundation. So when anything like that happens, they're able to take care of themselves and they don't have to, do GoFundMe's for money, all kinds of different stuff. They're actually to provide for themselves and as well start planning for their future. Sometimes, like my parents, unfortunately, they're a lot older. They didn't have no time to prepare for the future, right? Because the future was there already. But they were able to start putting in resources for their grandkids, right? So you can, maybe it was a little bit late for you. Now you can start still changing your generation. Maybe not presently actively, but you can start planning it out and setting it up for the kids. So eventually, they can do a lot better than ourselves. That's one thing that my dad always educated me with. He like, you know what, my dad barely did this. I did this X, Y. Now I want you to do a lot better than me. So my family has been progressively, slowly moving forward. Now jumping into financial services, giving me so much more tools, just educating more people. Definitely just gonna increase that level to move to a lot better place. And with that knowledge, just trying to bring everybody else on board, right? Um, a little bit, I mentioned as well, we do work with small businesses. We help a lot of small businesses set up different things from education for the employees to as well help small businesses save on taxes by reallocating uh, money that's already getting paid to Uncle Sam, right? But redistribute some of that income to go back into the employees and benefits, right? So just trying to help as much as we can, which would have some basic education when it comes to finances. And if they need more extensive stuff, we definitely can actually help them out as well. I work with a brokerage. So just like James, you mentioned you have a big book, right? Of a lot of connections. I represent over 20 different companies. So we always have some type of product that we're gonna be able to take care of individuals with. And Let's see what else. What else can I tell you guys? One of the things I actually love about one of the companies that I represent is called National Life Group, and that is a life insurance company and retirement company. That company was founded 176 years ago. First life insurance company founded in the United States under a different name, still same company. It was a company you guys seen the movie Titanic, right? The Titanic. Yep. That was the company that paid out the policies for the individuals that on Titanic. Yeah, so company that's been in business for a long time taking care of American families, right? Well, the crazy thing about this company is when the founder created this company, his great grandfather have served in World War One. So it's one of the only companies in the nation that actually has a no work clause. So I love this for our veterans, why and my current service members especially. Why is that? Because no work clause means doesn't matter if you go to combat and you actually pass away in a combat situation. There's no buts. They will pay out anything that they have, even if it's a life insurance policy, living benefits, whatever the case is, they're gonna pay it out. And I was pleased to have one of my friends his ex-wife was in the field one time, and unfortunately, they were in the tent. They had a big storm, and they got hit with lightning, and they got electrocuted. A handful of them got electrocuted. Luckily, nobody passed away. Some minor injuries, but she had a policy with living benefits. Due to the living benefits, even though the military was taking care of them, which is really good, right? She was able to accelerate $100,000 from that policy, from her personal policy. Even though she didn't need the money, she had access to the money. With that money, she actually started putting it to buy her first home. So a lot of different benefits that people don't realize that they can do and they can have. Because we think, oh, the military is taking care of us. Not 100%. And we got to start setting up for whenever we get out of the military, right? We got to start that early. And then unfortunately, some of us don't do it early. We can always start at a little time, right? And that's why I'm here, just trying to educate families. So, when anybody wants to connect and actually start seeing what type of products and services we offer, how we can help families, please reach out to me. Connect with Christine. She can share my information. I'm on Instagram at omar.f.becerra on Instagram, on my phone number. I have my phone available on me 24/7. It's 714-679-8822. Or again, just reach out to Christine and she can definitely connect you all with me.
Thank you so much, Omar. Now, so the floor is open.
Any questions or anything, any thoughts that anybody have right now?
And I think it's wonderful what you're doing, and thank you for the lengthy time serving our country. That's awesome. You must be
Thank you, sir.
feel very proud.
Yes, actually, I wanted to stay a little bit longer, but I'm a single dad with two boys, 8-year-old and 11-year-old, and I got my business on the finance side. So I like, you know what? I need to spend more time in my business so I can help more people and educate more families. And my kids need more time with me as well. So it's time for me to hang on my boots. Somebody else can take that first sergeant slot that they've been dingling in front of my face for the past 2.5 years. Now I got it directly from the DA. Hey, you're taking first sergeant, but you need to re-enlist. I'm like, no, I'm done. There's my retirement packet. You guys can keep it.
Yeah.
I don't need the extra $2 a year. I think I can serve in a different way.
Yeah.
And your kids are going to probably feel so happy that you're there with them, because that time flies by so fast, and then it's like, boom, it's done. And like, where'd that time go?
Yes, correct. The great thing about and then for anybody that's looking to make additional income as well or do career changes, we're heavily expanding. We have offices in all 49 states, including Puerto Rico. If you're in social media, maybe you'll have heard of my CEO and founder. His name is Patrick Bet David with Valuetainment. Also, veteran 101 Airborne, Screaming Eagles. So that's actually how I ended up connecting with the company. It was through him. So I've been following him. But the great thing about this business is a business. So actually, when I have my kids, I can take them to my office. I have the flexibility to, let me take them to school. Let me do this. Let me do that. Hey, I got an appointment. Taking them to my office. They're doing homework in my office. I'm not restricted like most people are in a 9 to 5 job, right? They gotta go
Yeah.
get a babysitter. They gotta do something else. No, so it gives a lot of flexibility. And some people just need some additional income, right? They want to make $1,000, $5,000 extra a month, part-time, flexible schedules. We can definitely coach them and help them to do all that.
That's awesome.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
What a blessing.
Thank you, Stan.
You're welcome.
Thank you so
I
much,
think-
Omar.
I think, Omar, you're doing the right thing so often. It's not just the military; it's everybody has no idea how finances work, and they,
Yeah.
they get to the point where you've created a path with your military government retirement, but a lot of people don't have that. I retired from the Department of Veterans Affairs. I was fortunate to do that, but a lot of people out there are totally on their own. When they get to that 66, 67, I don't know what retirement age is now. I've been retired since 19. They find themselves looking and going, man, I wish I'd have. And that's the wrong time to do it.
Correct.
Doesn't take much to build up $1 million if you start young.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. So that's what one thing we try to do is trying to get parents to start with their kids very, very young, right? And then it's crazy because you mentioned, oh, you got a good retirement from Veterans Affairs. Great to hear that, right? But companies are not offering retirement plans anymore. God, the military is not offering retirement plans anymore. They're offering TSPs. That's basically a 401k. Is a investment account and the market, and God be with you. Hopefully you know how to manage it, and hopefully the market doesn't go down and you don't lose like 2007, 2008, 39% of your retirement money. Yeah. So the other thing that we do, especially with veterans, and with families in general, right? Especially when you're getting closer to that retirement age, the biggest concern for individuals getting to that retirement time frame is running out of money, right? You have a 401k, you can have, $500,000 in a 401k on an IRA, but you pull out the money eventually is going to run out, right? So we have different products like fixed index annuities, where they actually give you a lifetime income distribution, which means that it doesn't matter if your account goes to zero, because it's a contract, the company will still pay you for the rest of your life. And if you have money left over, they'll pay out to your beneficiaries and avoid probate. There's no other product in the market in the United States that do that by fixing these annuities.
Very good.
Yes, yes. The other things too is health. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of families go bankrupt due to medical bills. Some of these products have multipliers that whenever you get some type of health condition, something severe like a cancer, heart attack, stroke, something like that, there'll be a multiplier on it. So if you're already in a fixed income with an annuity, depends what type of annuity, they do have those multipliers, and your income literally gets double. So if you were getting, $2,000 a month, boom, now you're getting $4,000 a month. And that is basically to supplement a long-term care that a lot of people don't have long-term care insurances.
Mhm.
Fortunately, by the time they start looking at it, they're a lot older. That's when they think that they need it, and that's very expensive, and they can't afford it. So if they start young, it's great because they're set. But if not, there's other different products that we can actually help them out with to prepare for that time frame.
It's extremely expensive. I have personal knowledge that if there's any type of memory issues or dementia, it's about 10,000 a month. And this is like, I'm in Orange County, so maybe it's a little higher, but it seems to be the kind of norm between 8 and 10. And then 5 and 6 for low end, just for some of these senior care facilities. So,
Yes.
geez.
Yes, very, very costly.
Well, this is great that you're getting out there and sharing all this. I actually love it too.
Thank you. Actually, currently, I had to step out a little bit because I'm in an event right now, huge event, doing connections, so we can actually do and share some of that information as well. But stepped up over here because I had to jump in here. Anytime Christine said, "Hey, I need this," I don't care. Christine is priority number one. We jump on podcast for Christine anytime. Anytime we need to connect, Christine, I got you.
Thank you so much, Omar. We'll make sure everybody has your information.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Thanks, Omar.
Good night.
So, James, Stan, we have open forum. Please feel free to share the things that you guys have going on right now, especially for other veterans. This is going to live on the internet.
Yeah. Stan, tell us a little bit about what you do. I don't know if we've connected before. Your name, actually, I have a very good friend whose name is Stan Russell, but you don't look anything like him. He looks like Santa Claus.
Well, we have a product called ActiGraft Pro, okay, and it's made by a company called Red Dress, and it's where they use the patient's own blood, so it's one vial of blood that the doctor will take from the patient in an office visit. Now, this office visit's only going to last about 20 minutes. We do have an FSS number with the VA right now, and we have a contract with a company called Marathon. So if they had like our main contact right now would be like podiatry and wound care, things like that, where a patient might have a wound that might have been open for more than 30 days. That's kind of considered chronic, hard to heal wound. They would go in and have a vial of blood taken. There's a cup that's probably about the size of this, and I can share some information with you guys. And it's like a dome. So the tech that pulls the blood would actually put that blood into this cup, shake it around, and it's got healing properties in it. It's got the coagulating material in it, and it makes it like probably a clot that's about that thick is still about, that big around, they would place this on the patient and it can be put on bone and tendon. And after, like, we have some pictures where it's showing 12 to 14 weeks, this stuff is like healing almost like 70% at that point. And again, being that it is the patient's own blood and they see this happening, and the whole process takes no more than about 20 minutes. And there's 20 applications. Now, the surprising thing is this product can also be placed on another product that maybe did not go all the way. So maybe the healing kind of stopped. Maybe they ran out of money, funds. Maybe they've used up all the applications that product allows for. ActiGraft goes up to 20 applications, and usually nobody goes through all 20. They actually stop around the 12 to 14, 16. And again, like I said, if there's a patient that kind of is almost healed but not quite, ActiGraft can go in and finish the job.
That's pretty
So,
neat.
it's just trying to get into, the different facilities and kind of giving them the information, because this is a great tool in their toolbox to use with the veterans that need it the most.
That's pretty. Do you have a medical background then? Is that how you got started in this?
No, actually, I was with AT&T for 26 years. Operations manager, project manager, incident and problem. So I kind of did a little bit of that. Headcount reduction actually caused my job to go away. And that kind of hurt really bad. So I kind of tried a couple other things out. And I got into amniotic membrane, was like my first kind of round of doing stuff like this with sales and medical. And I truly like amniotic membrane as well. But because the question came up many times that, is that from an aborted fetus? And even though I would say no, and I had information, white papers in front of me that can prove it, a lot did not believe that, and they still felt
Yeah.
like it was a no-go for them. The other good thing with the amniotic is that if a patient has severe dry eye or they have something with corneal abrasion, they make little patches that would go on your eye, on the cornea itself, and help to heal it. Those are also placed on weekly, and it would actually help to cure the severe dry eye. They also have plugs that they use for like the tear ducts, and that also will help with the severe dry eye. So there's a lot of things that I've learned over the course of a couple of years now, and just trying to get this out there. And I'm very interested in it. If I could actually get to, like, say, a PA level myself, I could be applying this on a patient, or say if there was a doctor in the room, I would feel that I could place it on a patient and help them out as well.
Pretty neat.
So it's a very cool product.
Do you want to share a couple other things that D3M does have, the other products or services that they offer the medical field, especially what you guys are trying to do with the veterans and the VA?
That's really the one that we got right now, because it's rather difficult to get into some of the VA.
Mm-hmm.
And we got assistance through George, which is like our distributor, and he works with Red Dress, and you probably know him, maybe George Powell.
I know his name, but I don't know him.
Okay. But there are other products that we have. One will identify symptoms in an asymptomatic patient. So it could be like high blood pressure, it could be sugar, it could be coronary issues. So we do have that. We have a product that we are using within the VA. It's called MedHab, and it's notify if, like, the patient falls, or if they're maybe their oxygen level is too low. They have a watch or a device that they wear on their wrist or on their belt loop. So if they did fall, it's almost like that one watch where it says, or that chain that goes around their neck. I can't think of the name of it. But you could say, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up," kind of thing. This way, though, this device actually will notify your relatives and whoever you feel should be notified in case something happens. They will get alerted immediately if you do fall, if it senses that. There's two buttons on there. One that says, "I need help now," and then it will tell your family you press that button to get EMS out. Or if you do not hit a button at all, it will automatically send help to you. The second button will say, "Hey, I'm okay. I fell, but I'm okay. I'm gonna get up," and then you can make contact with your family, but it won't send emergency at that point.
And that's part of the patient monitoring system?
Yes, it is. So, and that's MedHab. We do have teledentistry. So if a patient has something that goes on with their teeth, instead of going into the emergency room, and they're not going to be able to help you anyways there, this is a program that will reach out to different dentists as part of the network. You can do a telehealth session with that dentist. They will find somebody that is in the network that's close by that can take care of you soon, instead of waiting, how long until you can see a dentist,
Yeah.
So dentists are signing up for this teledentistry program, and it's been starting to show that it's very beneficial.
That's wonderful. And the semaglutides are kind of going back now with all of the bad media and press.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's other programs that we have that are mainly geared towards medical facilities and doctors as a whole, where it will help to identify lost revenue. So if a doctor is not getting paid, what they've billed for, this will help to identify where they can get that revenue that was lost back.
Which I know that's what you guys were trying to also get into the VA, right? Now,
Yes.
as a former employee of the VA, is that something that they've ever utilized outside third-party vendors for something like that? That you know of?
I did not. Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Okay.
I retired from VBA, not from
Oh,
VHA.
okay.
And I do know I have a good friend that works in joints like hips and elbows and stuff. And it's really hard. He's told me he's been working for a long time. I think it's a matter of first of all, you've got to be certified and have that link to be able to approach the VA. And then I think what he's doing basically is he's developing a relationship with somebody at our local VA regional or hospital here in Wichita, Kansas. And so last time I talked to him, he still hadn't gotten in the door other than starting to work on the relationship. Hopefully Elon will take care of some of that stuff and open up some of those doors to let people make those connections.
Just opening doors, yeah, to make things a little bit smoother for our veteran family employees.
Easier. That's right.
Yeah.
It's too difficult sometimes.
It is, because even from a normal doctor's practice, it's some of this. I mean, there's so much that we have that can help them with additional revenue to keep their office afloat, hire new people. There's a lot of things that kind of stand in the way, and I think the doctors have been afraid to shell out any additional money to buy into a system or use a program because they're maybe unaware of all the benefits of that program. I do have one individual at a VA in Ann Arbor that I'm trying to get a hold of. I went out there and I dropped off some material, and I still get if the doctor's interested, they'll call you. And then I kind of question, does my material ever really get to the doctor? Because I think some of this is really good, and I would at least like to share some things with them, whether they, say it would work with them or not. I think it's still great information for them to have as an idea in case something goes bad 10 years down the line. I mean, they could, not 10 years, but I mean, a little bit further down the line, say if they do have a patient that's not healing. Oh, I remember that ActiGraft, Pro from Red Dress. We can try that. Maybe reach out to myself or somebody else at that point, and see if they can help that patient with what they're going through.
Wow.
Yeah, Christine, I don't know if you want me to send some stuff to you, and you can share with the team.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, it's basic, but I have different things like case studies. I have a flyer that we do drop off. Now, with the VA, things are pretty much open to everybody. This product, I don't have to have like restrictions on. If I go to a non-VA physician, they have to be a diabetic patient. So that's the only stipulation at this point. They're hoping to possibly remove that later on, which then would open up the door for like Mohs patients. So somebody that has been dealing with like skin cancer, they can deal with it from a wound and a burn situation. So unfortunately, right now, it's just diabetic if they're non-VA.
Okay. If they're non-VA.
So, yeah, but VA, it's open to all patients that if the physician thinks that this will work to heal the wound or to heal the opening and help to close that. And we see it in a lot of different areas of the body.
Well, now, do you know if any VA across the United States has had this type of material, this type of product, the ActiGraft, at all?
There's a gentleman in Alabama.
Mhm.
I guess he's been doing pretty good. He started, I want to say, and don't quote me for sure, but I want to say at the end of October, he started selling, and maybe slightly a little before. And he's been selling very well. I think 3 or 4 locations, and he's got close to 100,000 a month.
So it would be interesting to hear from his clients and some of those VA doctors that are using it. If I don't know if that's something they do, but if they could share some just anonymous testimonials on how the product is doing with their patients, that would be
Yeah,
great.
because if it's helping their patients, and we have other patients. I'm in Michigan, so if I go to the Detroit VA, I can say, Mr. or Dr. King, hey, I got this doctor in Alabama that would like to talk to you.
Yeah.
And they've been using it for X amount of months, and it's very successful for them, and it has really helped their patients. To me, if it helps my patient, if I was a doctor, I'd be like, yes, I want to hear that.
Stan,
So
have you tried working in through maybe through some of the C box rather than the VAMCs?
I went out to one in Canton a couple weeks ago. I gave the material to them. They were like, well, we're a CBOC and we're not really sure. So there's a lot of research that I have to do as I'm searching up. And I got a whole list of all the VAs across the country. But every CBOC, you have to go into them individually to see, okay, do they handle podiatry? Because that would be my first and foremost. I look at dermatology as another one. I've looked at just the primary practice, primary doctor, because they may come across something that could actually be healed from this product as well. So, just trying to always think a little bit further outside the box, and
Yeah.
will be successful.
Sometimes you got to get rid of the box altogether.
For
Yeah.
sure. Totally. I do hope to, be able to come back to you guys at another meeting and say, you know what, we're doing really good and things are starting to get out there, because the results that I'm seeing are amazing. And it would be just amazing to see some other patients that are like, here, maybe I see somebody as I'm at one of the locations and I can see the progress. And, it would be so cool.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you for sharing. I know that D3M has been helping veterans. Their passion to help veterans has been there for a very long
yes,
time. So that's wonderful.
yes. And, I've been with other companies that have a lot of good products that they would like to get in there too.
Mhm.
It is a process though to get in.
Yeah.
And it's a process, I think, that's probably not as hard as an actual hospital, because you have to really go through a lot of different steps and a lot of different, levels within the hospital. We were just lucky enough to have D3M have a partnership with others that already had that opening. So it's a great thing, and I feel blessed to be able to have an offering that we can take to them.
Pretty neat.
I will. How should I send the info to you?
You can email it to me. You
Okay.
can email Christine@patriotsandpaws.org.
Okay.
And that kind of segues me into, James, please share what you're doing and we can share our information, the resources that we have. If you'd like to go ahead and do that.
Sure, be happy to. Back in 2011, I had started to accumulate a list of businesses that offered special promotions on an ongoing basis, not just on Veterans Day for our heroes. And I had about 40 companies. And so I started this website, veteranbargains.com. And the whole purpose was simply to share where another vet could save a few bucks.
Mhm.
right now I'm up to just a hair over 1,100 companies that have ongoing, and there's some of them are nationwide. A lot of them are in the central Kansas area, but I have a lot of national chains and things like that. And then I expanded it to include nonprofits that are out there. I've got about 4 dozen right now. I've got what I call useful information. There's a lot of vets. I meet vets on a semi-regular basis that have no idea if they're service connected in any way with the VA. They now have access to the commissaries and the exchanges. You know, for a guy like Omar, he's retired. He'll have that forever. But for a guy like myself, I was at 30%, and that law changed in 2019. So I update that stuff frequently. I do a newsletter once a month. I reach about 6,500 of us every month with the newsletter, and include things like right now, a lot of our vets are using My Healthy Vet. That was supposed to go away January 31st. That's changing. They're going to make you go to that government login thing. And so I've got a section in the website and in the newsletter that talked about those changes. So I try to keep, I reach out to a lot of different resources like yours, and then just share that information. So that's what.
Can you give me a link for that section so I can drop it in here? No,
Well,
you don't have to do this now, but when we get off tonight, get me a link to that section. I'd love to promote that.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. We could just promote the website, veteranbargains.com, and it's very, very easy. So I'm not a techie person at all. I tell people I can spell check most times. And so it's just been my passion. Now that I'm retired, I can really delve into it. I do go out and meet with different vet groups. The other thing that I've done is I've created a secondary path. About 2015, I realized I was doing a disservice to the people who served in a different capacity than we did in the military, and that's our first responders. So I also now have firstresponderresources.com. It's two URLs dropped to the same website, and so I'm trying to help that other market as well. So it's just my passion is share information. That's what I do, plain and simple. Don't even have a donate button on my page. I sell sponsorships for local businesses. Beyond that, it's a freebie.
Yeah, you're speaking to my heart. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Gosh, I gotta.
That is so cool. That is so cool. We thank you. And yeah, the healthy vet. I help my dad. I take him to the VA. Often he's got bad knees and he, just different things. And I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta find a different way to sign in, because they were saying they're taking that out of there. And I'm like, I just signed in the other day, and I'm like, okay, I can still sign in with Healthy Vet,
They changed the cut date because a lot of vets either didn't get the word, or older people like your dad. My dad served in Korea. He's not with us anymore, but my mom was doing that for him, and it was hard for her at her age. I'm in my 70s to use that, but the new government login is a lot easier. Once you get it set up, it's just a matter of setting it up. Once you're set, it works exactly the same way My Healthy Vet did. It's just a different login portal.
Okay. Then I'll have to try it that way too.
Yeah.
So yeah. Because at some point they probably will change how things.
I think they bumped the date till March. I've got a note in my computer somewhere because I'm going to put another blurb in the newsletter on the change. But yeah, it's coming.
So they are still going to eventually move it along.
Yeah. You can log in. I've had the login gov access for probably over a year, because as a government employee, I had to log in through some of that stuff to get my pensions and stuff. But basically what they're doing is they're going to one government login for the feds. So that's why they're getting rid of the My Healthy Vet. It's still in effect sometime in March. I can't tell you off the top of my head when it is.
Will it be an easy transition, you think, or something that people have to teach on?
No, I think it's going to be very easy. It's not hard at all to get that login set up. It's just a matter of getting another login and then utilizing that one.
Okay. Oh,
So
that's good to know. And I thank you for letting us know.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. If you want, if you'll email me at info@veteranbargains.com, veteran being singular, bargains being plural. I have a link I can send out to you so that you'll have it. And then you might want to share that, Christine, with the
Yes.
other vets that you're dealing with. Um, that's one of the things about the government, that's part of the reason why I started to expand the website is the VA has a lot of information, but my land, it's just cumbersome to try to get through. So I try to give people another simplified access to get that information in their hands. And I appreciate you letting me visit tonight. I apologize. I'm going to have to bail on you. It's 8:45, and I've got another thing I've got to head to. But
Great to see
appreciate you
you,
letting
and
me.
we'll connect.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I do have some great information to share, and
Yes, I
Sandy
do.
can pass this around. I have a doctor in Newport Beach, that's in Orange County, California. She's a psychotherapist. Her name is Dr. Amber Siebett, Sibbett. And Dr. Amber usually has 2 pro bono spaces a month for veterans. So if you know anyone in the area or not in the area, she can also do this via Zoom. She
Okay.
really, really likes to highlight her EMDR. So I have to read what this is. Eye movement desensitization reprocessing. So EMDR, that's her really big thing right now. She loves to use this, especially for trauma, anxiety, depression, phobias, amongst other things. So
Wow.
her website, if you want to reach out or just check out her website,
Yeah.
is www.amber, Sibbett, Sibbett.com.
Okay.
And so if you have any
Yeah, because I'll put,
benefit.
okay. And you never know. I mean, I don't know specifically one, but we have quite a few members in our team now, and that's growing. So I do feel that somebody knows somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, this is all helpful information, and anything that we can always do to help one another, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
And then looking forward to the Veteran Series Forum. We're going to be moving our days of the month. We're usually third Wednesday of the month. In April, we're going to start doing the first Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. So
okay.
we'll get that blasted out and let everybody know too. And we're pushing hard to get more veterans and more resources from other states and local to join so we can do exactly what you and James did tonight, which is share amazing information, which maybe somebody hasn't heard about.
Yeah, for sure. This was great. How did you get started doing this?
So my co-host and I, Dawood Akil, we're jumping on a series, part of South Coast College during COVID, and it was actually called the Legal Networking Forum. So every single week we would bring different speakers and different topics from medical to singer-songwriters to people talking on technology to the legal field. And Dawood Akil was in financial services and a Marine Corps veteran. He was at Camp Lejeune many, many years ago. And when him and his wife had a young family, years and years down the road, about 20 years after he retired, he was sent a letter saying, come back in for testing. You may have cancer. You may have this really, really rare specific cancer. So he came back in, and I think at that point they had a couple kids, and he didn't have that cancer.
Oh,
Fast forward to 2000, and we started this series in 2021, I believe. Fast forward to 2019, 18 or 19, he got the cancer. So at that point, he had children. He had, I believe, 9 grandchildren, and then he had this rare cancer. And when he applied for claims, he was denied several times. Yeah. And so we came on and did a talk. And first it was on financial services, and then it became, let's talk to some veterans, and some veterans came on and actually, if you turn off the camera and shared things they'd never shared before and found a space here to meet with other people to help them with veteran resources. So from that point on, we started doing this every month. And he showed up even in his hospital bed in September 2021, I believe, or 22. I'll have to check because we have that on Facebook. And then passed away in November of that same year. So all the way up until, his passing, he was helping veterans. He was helping
Wow.
people.
Wow.
And so we keep this going, whether we have 2 people or whether we have 40 or 50 people, because we do this in honor of Dawood and all the other veterans that have joined us and given to each other and just really valued the resources that, they hear about on things like this or in networking that you just don't know exist, even though, the information may be right there.
Well,
So,
like you had asked, were there other doctors that are using this?
mhm.
And I think the percentage right now is very few, and probably very few doctors within the VA even know the name ActiGraft.
Yeah.
So I think we got a great product.
Mhm.
I think it has, from what I see and what I've read, this product has really, it's excelled based on what they can offer, based on what others offer. So I mean, ActiGraft, and because it's from the patient's own blood, that just makes them feel so much better.
Unique too, yeah.
Yeah. Now I asked my individual podiatrist. I said, are you interested in this? And number one, they don't draw blood in their office, so they would have to have somebody come in and do it, or they would have to train somebody, which that's not a big deal. And then my doctor asked me, he said, Stan, what if that patient has cholesterol, high sugar? What if they got other things going on? Is that blood still something that they would want to use for that wound?
Mhm.
And I took that back to Red Dress, and they said, most definitely, because it's the patient's own blood, and all you're doing is you're reactivating the healing uh, um, properties within that disc, and you're placing that on there, so it's drawing things back to that wound. So the body's defenses are up in there. They're working on that as well. Of just because of the disc, that clot that's placed on there, that's pulling in other fighting mechanisms from the body.
And it's wonderful your body's not going to reject your own blood. So
Correct. Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So
It's a
like I said,
matter of getting on and sharing. Just
yes.
continuing to talk everywhere you can. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I don't know where this will go.
Mhm.
If I could get it to a couple doctors, the one I was seeing in Ann Arbor, she's like, I'll just let the doctors look at it. And then I tried to call back to see, can I maybe fax it to you, email it to you, just so you can have some more information? Can I get the doctor's, business card, their email address? And she says, no, we don't work like that here, which I feel is a lie, because I've been to other ones and I've been given all of their information. Here's the doctor. They'll do an in-service with you, everything. So all that's spelled out real cool. I think what I'm going to do, and I know, the VA doesn't do lunches and stuff like that, but I think when I go to see this lady at the front desk for the podiatry department, I'm going to take her like a little box of cookies and something else, and just try to say, at least, please, at least just share it with them.
You have little clips of you speaking on this that you can just say, you may not have some time. The doctor may not have any time, but let me shoot you this email with this 30-second, 60-second clip. And then you
Yep.
can let me know if you'd like to learn more, and we can do this over Zoom or some kind of
Yep.
unique offer.
Correct. Yep. That would be very helpful, because again, what I've seen and how
Mhm.
this product works is amazing. So it's just getting to the right people.
Yeah.
And I know everybody's busy, and I know they're worried about, what's going on and will it affect, different groups and individuals. Um, and I just hope that the patient always gets the support, and and care that they need and they deserve.
Hey, I happen to know someone in wound care who's retired. She's a retired veteran.
Oh,
She's a
wow.
retired nurse practitioner in wound care
Nice.
specialty, and a veteran. I may just connect you to. I know her very
Okay.
well. Maybe you can pick
Okay.
her brain and she might have some questions for you that may help you in promoting this with doctors.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. If it works out, thank you. I mean, that would be so cool.
Yeah. She happens to be my aunt, so I can get her on the phone with you.
Yeah. No, that would be nice. You know, just to have one person that I can kind of, I don't know, like champion type,
Yeah.
person that would be able to say, okay, this is how you want to present it, or this is the area that maybe podiatry is not the top place to go, or the
Mhm.
one that makes the most sense. Maybe there's something that I'm not thinking about, or that our team's not thinking about. And just to get it out there, just so that a doctor, the wound care specialty department can look at this and say, yes, that makes perfect sense, and let's give it a try.
Yeah. Let's help more veterans.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
Definitely.
I've seen where they've done amputation of toes,
Mhm.
and they have used this to heal that foot, and they heal it in record time.
Patriots
And
Paws just lost one of our dear employees because of that same thing. They lost a toe. They had it
yeah,
amputated because of diabetes, and there was an infection that didn't heal up and took his life.
oh man.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
that I didn't even think about that until right now. But yeah,
wow.
you're right. Just more people need to hear about this so we can get this
Yes.
product out to the right people to save people.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of people that have lost their eyesight
Oh
and
gosh.
said that was it because they couldn't go on without him.
Ugh.
So, and having two kids, young kids, but she couldn't deal with it, and that was it.
Oh, so I'm so sorry.
So when you hear about things like that, and it's just something that if somebody, and there are different solutions, things that can
Mhm.
help, at whether it totally eliminates what was going on, or at least start showing some improvement.
Yeah.
I think those things will help somebody's mental kind of work through it a little bit better than just saying, okay, I'm at the end.
Yeah, I agree with
I
you.
can't move on. So,
Well,
well,
we are at 7 o'clock. Thank you
yeah.
so much for joining us, Sam. Let's
Okay.
email later tonight,
Okay.
connect. Love to
You
get some
got it.
information out. We'll put it in the details of this YouTube.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll see you next month. We'll be here
All
next
right.
month on the third Wednesday.
You got
And
it.
then thereafter will be Tuesdays.
Okay. Thank you so much, Christine, and we'll talk